Look at you go. I'm just impressed. You two are beginning to make quite the team. It's only been a few days, but you seem to be bonding quite well. It is important. Bonding with one's mount is an important part of being a Longstrider. I am glad to see that you are making the effort. Far too many in your position wouldn't. I know far too many younger striders who would have thought, this isn't for me, this isn't fair. I'm glad to see you taking it seriously. Mm, a mark of the true leader. Perhaps the spear was meant for you after all. True leaders accept the responsibility thrust upon them. It is not easy, but it is worthy of you. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps I am just waxing poetical, as you put it. I cannot say that I don't feel a bit elated at the moment. Look to the horizon. What do you see? Have no fear. This is why you are with me. I am to teach you. Look, right along the horizon. Those wisps. They are not clouds. Smoke tendrils. We finally arrived at the Culvert. Maybe 10, 15 minutes of riding. It's not bad. The culvert was settled around a natural hot spring. It provided warmth in the colder months. We were able to grow around it. We have everything we need to patrol the entire area, as well as trade with neighboring communities. It's not without its difficulties. Some tree coverage allows for a level of comfort, but we are a bit more exposed out here. The rock outcroppings don't do as much as you would think. The one and only cave has been dedicated as a area for mounts. Our wolves will get to stay there. We're a little more out in the open. Well, a tent is going to be your best friend. A comfort should never come into the equation. You are a Longstrider. Yours is a life in the field. Get used to being a little uncomfortable, and I promise things will go a lot better. I have no doubt you will make a fine strider. It will just take some getting used to. Learning the ways of the wolf and the sky. They take time, but I am sure you will be able to master them. Yes. Well, like I said, I am just glad to be back. No politics, no backstabbing, just people trying to live. Sometimes I think our kind got too ambitious. Maybe we weren't meant to live in cities and great areas of people, small communities, small, tight-knit groups of people. They prove their worth more than anything else. Yes. Hopefully, in time, you will call them all friend. Or at least, you won't expect them to put a knife in your back. Oh, not everyone will be your friend. One can hope, but that is the nature of people. We don't always see eye to eye. I see you get it already. Have no fear. We are not far away, and soon you will meet the most important of all of us. Oh, yes. Everyone there is important. Everyone has a job and serves a purpose, but admittedly, when you do the job we do, some are slightly more important than others. That's right. No one, dear lad, is more important than you. You as well, my dear, you as well. Lord, they're more animated than most of the people I know. That is the nature of a wolf. They are not pets, they are companions, partners, people in their own right. Only they're more honest about it. Yes, there's no deception in them. They are who they are. We could only take lessons from them, yes? And the pack is how you should always gauge your life. No one works against the pack. No one tries to get one over. Everyone has a place, everyone has a role, everyone has a job, and everyone works for the betterment of the pack. It's a simple life, and it works on smaller scales, but, well, as you saw in the city. That is true. People do tend to ruin good things. Ah, all is well. Soon we'll be back at the Culvert and we can get you set up. Well, first things first, somewhere to lay your head. There are a few free tent places that we can set you up. Then it's a few odds and ends just to make life comfortable. Everyone will be more than willing to pitch in. That's the nature of the Culvert. No one expects you to have everything. Quite the opposite, in fact. You are just starting out. How could we expect you to get on your own 2 feet? You're a stumbling pup, first birthed into this world. It is my job, and all of theirs, to see to it that you are set up properly, to take care of you, to teach you, so that when you go out into the world by yourself, you are prepared. Again, forgive me. I think I'm just very glad to be home. Asha and the city, they don't sit right with me. I still don't understand why a guardian is worrying about Longstrider affairs, but Hmm, who can say? Yes, there is a watch upon the culvert, but, well, you never see good sentinels. You just know they're there. Everyone will recognize me, and in time they will recognize you. You will be able to come and go as you please. That is the way of the Longstrider. Sometimes we're not seen for weeks at a time, but we are always known when we come back. Yes. The first part of the culvert that we are going to enter is the trade area, if you will. A few shops, a few merchants and craftsmen, people who can ply trade for us. They give us supplies that we need and things that we can trade with others. It will become your central focus for a while. Like I said, you're a pup. Pups need things. Have no fear. Everyone will be willing to help. Well, not everything can be free. You might be asked to do a odd job here or there. Earn your keep, as it were, but I have nothing but faith in you. Indeed. Come along. I am sure these two could use a break. And if I'm being completely fair, I would not mind being out of the saddle for a little while. I see the feeling is mutual. Follow me then. These tents and small buildings, they can be a bit tricky to navigate your first few times. No one was really thinking of planning when they put this all in. Yes, it did unfortunately become a bit of a warren. It takes a while, but you will learn your way. Yes. In fact, why don't we hold up here? Best to continue on foot. Because it can get a little tight here. Like I said, this is where most of the tradesfolk are, and we try not to ride through the walkways. It would not be beneficial for our security. Being tightly knit and close together, it keeps us safer. If the culvert needs to defend ourselves, we're all in one place. We don't have to worry about someone being off in the distance.
Well, well, well. Look at what the buzzards dropped in.
Bracken! It is good to see you, old friend.
You as well, Koda. Though you took your sweet time getting back. We were all beginning to wonder if something had happened.
No, just a little slower than normal.
Everything go all right at the capital?
Yes, just some unexpected news.
I can tell. Who is this?
This would be one of the newest riders. And my apprentice.
I'll be. It's good to meet you. I'm Bracken.
He's in charge of supplying the camp. and making sure we have everything we need.
As well as a plethora of other duties. But that is my main function. Of course, if you need anything at all, do not hesitate to come find me. No, no, no. This is nothing like the city. Here we help one another. We all survive together or we all die together. There really is no other option.
Why don't you two take a moment to get acquainted? You would do well to know Bracken. I'll take the wolves to the paddock. Of course. Let me see to them today. Do not worry on it. I can handle them this time. You take your time. I'll find you when I'm done. Come along, you two. Let's get you settled in.
Aye, he's a good man. I know far too many master riders that would make you see to both wolves. Of course he doesn't want to be called a master rider. He doesn't see himself as one. Koda is a good man, though he seems to forget it sometimes. He actually is a good man. I've known him for a long time, ever since before he was a Longstrider. Indeed, I've known him since he was just a young recruit to the Guardians. You didn't know he was a Guardian before he was a Longstrider. Well, isn't that interesting? Koda hasn't told you much about himself, has he? Well then, I won't say anything. It's not my place. I'll say this though. Asha must really dislike you if she placed you with him. Or she really wants him to fail at being a teacher. She would like to shame him again. Ah, I see it's a bit of both. Well then, isn't that interesting? You bear the spear of it all. Oh, do not worry. Most out here do not hold stock with your legends and prophecies. So long as you do your part and work towards the betterment of the Culvert, you'll do just fine out here. Fancy spear or no. Don't worry. Koda is a fine rider, and a finer man. Again, he doesn't believe it himself, but if you listen, you'll do just fine. No, no. What I said was more a reflection of Asha than it was Koda. She dislikes him far more than one should. For the most part these days, he just tries to ignore it. Because He's put his past behind him. But again, that's his story to tell. Indeed. Tell me, do you need anything from the supply? Cloak. Traditionally, you would make your cloak from your first major kill, but if you don't have any cloak, I have something that can get you outfitted until you're a bit more properly suited. Please think nothing of it. It's what we do out here. I'm sure. It's going to take me a while to find you something, though. Did you two see to your own needs before coming out this way? Of course not. Koda would always see to that wolf before himself. Sure, it's a fine trait to have. Just make sure to take care of yourself as well. I'll look for a cloak. You go head to the northern edge of camp. There are some hot springs there and you can get cleaned off. Just tell the springminder who you are and that I sent you. They'll sort you out with everything else you might need. Of course. Like I said, we all work together out here. We help each other out. If we don't, we're dead. Go. I insist. I'll let Koda know where you headed off to. You're more than welcome. It's the least I can do to welcome you to the Culvert. Of course. Now, off with you.